even today, you'll see most Premier League clubs and senior championship clubs, their gross profit, 80%, 70 to 80% of their gross profit is player salaries. I'm not saying it's wrong, just saying that's what it is. But there comes a point we need to manage that, and probably that point is now, because the income is going to drop for obvious reasons. There's not going to be people playing or paying to watch players playing for certainly for a while anyway. Well, you go down to the lower divisions. I'm fortunate enough to be fairly friendly with Oliver Dowden, who's the Culture Secretary of State, and they are aware that Div 1, Div 2, unless there are crowds allowed in a socially distancing manner in their stadia, they will go bust, because the broadcast money is not big down there. Unless they can sell beer, sell food, sell advance monies for catering, sell local sponsorships, sell tickets, etc., they're going to go bust. And that's an absolute. It's an absolute, full stop. That's going to happen. So there's going to have to be care taken in the lower leagues, and I include the top divisions of the national who are knocking on those doors as well. The Championship and the Premier League, ultimately, to answer your question, are probably going to have to face the reality of renegotiating players' contracts, depending on what happens. And let me finish that question on a positive. If there's no fans in stadia, I'm guessing, educated guess, that the audiences on television will be bigger, because they will be. Now, that how the government manage that in terms of, do you collect at your house or my house or a pub or whatever, they'll have to manage that in a socially distanced environment. But let's assume the audience is, the 3 million becomes 4 million, because you can't watch it, and those extra million who would be in the ground aren't in the ground. That should give rise to bigger advertising revenue for the broadcasters. So that should stabilize the finances. The problem is that the more technically wise amongst us will find ways of streaming it, and that may diminish again the potential upside, which means that my guess is later this calendar year, or certainly earlier in 21, there's going to have to be a realignment of players' wages commensurate to the broadcast and the match day income.